While I'm keeping an eye on every player, Wiser controls every room.
Ali, Rob's talked in recent weeks, it's a tough period for us as a team, but even when you lose, to come back in on a Monday and see positives from the previous weekend, how did you see any positives from the weekend last?
Well, look, there was a lot of positives. Really playing against a very well established and sort of settled side, and with a lot of experience, a lot of internationals in there, and we probably went up there with not as strong a side as what we lost to them at home here. So it was hugely positive the amount the guys fought. I thought their effort and endeavour was second to none. Obviously, we had made a few errors, but there were errors of youth and young guys just not experiencing certain situations, and they'll be better for that. That's the important thing. And I thought that the way we started the game, we obviously got straight out of the blocks really well. We trained really well all week. We warmed up well, and we had that first 20. The challenge is then it's like for younger players to sustain that for longer periods and sustain that level. We did take a little bit of a blow, and we invited them onto us, and look, they're a quality side. So there were a lot of scoring opportunities, and we created, we got into their 22 a lot of times, but we didn't manage to convert as many as we would have liked. But as I say, a lot of positives. We had a very young front row out there that looked more than capable at this level. We had guys involved in the squad. We had guys involved in the back five that will be picking up game time, valuable game time, and new guys being introduced all the time. Plus, there's young guys training with the squad that are coming through. So, all in all, all that experience is hugely positive. And I say, we can't fault the effort of the weekend. It's just now tidying up the little bits that they probably can't be expected to know. But the Premiership is a really tough place and a tough learning curve. But they will get those reviews, and we'll talk them through it, and hopefully make them progress in their careers.
As you know, as coaches, it's always going to be a pivotal time when you lose players to Six Nations. But in the past, we've kind of seen guys, the likes of Noel, Cowan, Dickey, Slade, they've had these moments where they've had to learn in past experiences, and it's a huge opportunity for some of these youngsters to come through now, isn't it? Yeah,
look, they don't. No one gets there just overnight. You have to go through that process. We spent quite a lot of time around the middle of the table before we got into finals. With those guys, them learning their trade and learning and understanding what to do in certain situations, and going through those processes. And you have to do that with all young players. So for me, it's really exciting to see some of the younger guys coming through and expose themselves, but do well in instances, but also then get those work-ons that they can build on, so that they become more rounded players and better players for the future. And look, these experiences will be hugely important in 3 or 4 years time, when these guys are starting to feature week in, week out in the Premiership side and taking us forward as a club. So it's more exciting than anything else.
What are the threat of Wasps? As the form book says, that they're on form, aren't they? Getting some good results. Yeah,
look, they had a few injuries. Yeah, they had a few injuries and a few guys missing early in the season. Quite a lot of their key guys, and they've started to get them back. They're obviously they've brought a lot of enthusiasm to their games. Their line speed is huge. They're attacking games and going after them, and they're a real physical at the breakdown and in the contact areas. So look, they're on form. Apart from that Munster result, they're on a bit of a roll. So we've got to make sure we're in the right frame of mind to confront that and almost challenge it and go back at them.
Media were asking you, do you look at league tables? Is there a bit of pressure on? In reality, you're only 2 wins potentially away from the top 4, so there's no panic, I'd imagine.
No, it's more, look, we know where we are. We monitor them all the time, and say it's more just looking at the performances, keeping their performances strong in blocks, but as well as as well as in those individual games, and for us to keep fighting. The most important thing is keep the effort levels and keep going hunting games, and that's what we need to do at the minute. It's more about the challenge of knocking a few guys that are up that league, knocking them off, and then starting to claw some space back. But it's hugely exciting, and it's one of those, if we come through and get into that top 4 and win it, there could be almost our best achievement as a squad.
Albeit a losing bonus point last weekend, but results went your way, and now I guess with back-to-back home games, you've got to make the most of this home advantage.
Yeah, definitely. And look, a bonus point away from home was always the pass score in the past, and to do that against Irish, we didn't achieve that at home. We put a way better performance in, and we with a less experienced side. So. Like you say, you get yourself back at home, and it's time to roll up your sleeves and give the fans something to get behind. We've got to make sure we approach the game and hit the pitch with that attitude that we had at the first 20 minutes, and we've got to continue it. And that's the most important focus we've got to have. If we do that, these fans will get right behind us, and then we're a real handful for any side. So those young guys have got to experience that, but they've got to put out in front of those fans some quality performances and quality effort as much as anything, and then they'll get behind them.